Welcome to Unwind and Wonder Podcast. I'm Liza.
I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Felicity. Today we're jumping into the world of relationship skills.
So grab your cup of coffee, your tea, your matcha latte, your milk, and let's unwind and wonder together.
Today we're talking about relationships, and one of the most important things in any relationship is communication. Communication is always key. Effective communication is one of the most crucial aspects of a relationship. Research has consistently shown that couples who communicate openly and honestly tend to have a healthier and more fulfilling relationship.
I don't know about any of you, but for me, communication is something that I want to do so bad all the time. I know how important it is, but sometimes it could be hard, like coming up with the things to say, how to go deeper. And that's why today I'm super, super, super excited because we have a tool brought to us by our family at Hardly Initiated. These cards are from the Hardly Initiated podcast. They're called Hardly in Love. Kim has them in her hands, and she's going to take us through a few of them to spark deeper conversation and communication in our relationships.
So looking forward to it.
You know
Communication started is always good.
Absolutely. I think that sometimes we need a tool. Sometimes we need something that's going to guide us. Like, how do we spark up those convos? How do we have those uncomfortable conversations? And the beautiful part about these cards, it's their dating edition, but you can literally have these conversations with almost anyone to get to know them, to just build that relationship with that person. And just looking at some of these cards, because there's so many that we can just go in and open up the box, I did narrow it down to a few that we can start that I think will have a good way to start the conversation. So the first card that I have in my hand, so get ready, ladies, it is, and I think this one is applicable because of how big social media is. So I just want you guys to know why I chose this card.
Okay.
So this one says, do you believe that couples should share passwords to their phones and social accounts?
Love that one.
So I would say yes. It makes sense. The only person who I share passwords with my things like that with is my sister. And it's because I trust her. She has them to this day. And it's like, it doesn't make a difference to me because I know that she's not going to go on there and post a crazy picture of me or something, even if we get in a fight, you know what I mean? Like, what's she going to do? And I'm not hiding anything from her. On the Hardly Initiated podcast one day, there was a guest who was saying that purposely, it was a man, I think a pastor actually, he was saying purposely, he will leave his phone on the table in the kitchen when he goes out to the store, whatever like that, just letting his wife know non-verbally, like, this is,
I love that.
you have full access. This is not, there's no hiding, nothing
Secret.
here, yeah.
Yeah. I like that very much. The reason why I pause is because I think the type of relationship that you have, like how long this relation is for, how much you can trust a person. Just like Felicity said, my sister is the one who have this because I trust her not to do X, Y, and Z. I think like this, the same thing, like depending on the trust level, I will share my information, but also it goes into the relationship piece, right? So if you are in a relationship with someone and you don't feel comfortable enough for them to access your information, then what does that say about the relationship, right? Which is one of the skills that we have to build in a relationship, trust.
Jumping backwards, though, a little bit, because we started the conversation with Liza, you shared how it's important to have trust. So if trust is already there, do we really find it necessary to share passwords, especially your social media account? Because honestly, like DMs, think about how many people slide into your DMs, send you messages. And they can be sometimes very innocent messages. Like maybe someone likes your outfit or your hair looks good. And it's like, do you really want to have that conversation with your boyfriend if he goes in there?
I want to see it all. If I know someone is sliding in someone's, I want to understand why they're sliding in someone's feet, and I want for the person that I'm with to actually tell me, like, listen, I'm getting this message for someone, and then we could both look at it together. I don't see why will someone, if I'm in a good, like in a trusting relationship, for me not to have access to their information, for them to have access to my information. And I lost you both there.
No, we're here. We're here.
Yeah, I'm here too. Yeah. I
Passwords
think
can always be changed. I just want to put that out there. So you can always
oh,
change your mind.
100%.
So
Yeah. But I think it contributes to the trust, and it also just makes sense. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And then you can't control people from sliding into your DMs. People like what do you like? It's not if you slide into their DMs and that's seen in the chat, like then that's a problem. But if people slide in there and tell you things, of course they're going to tell you things. They tell you things when you're walking down the street.
Would you want to have information to your significant other, like you have your access to your significant other's information? Is that a yes or a no?
no, I don't
It's a
want
yes
it.
for me.
I don't think I want it. I don't want
Yeah.
passwords for the phones or social medias.
That reminded me of something, and I don't not necessarily agree with it, but that reminded me something growing up that I will hear, like, if you look for something, you're going to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did not agree with that, because that's actually, I feel like something really sad coming from that, right? So it means that everybody has something to hide. I don't want to feel that, and everywhere I step on someone or looking into someone, I'm going to find something. That's a horrible place to be like, not knowing when you're going to find something, and when someone is gonna come with a surprise. I don't like that feeling.
I literally thought of the same quote because my ex used to say that all the time. If you're looking for something, you're going to find it, right? But I look at it kind of in a different way, in that if you're looking for something, like you may have already had your mind made up that you're looking for something.
I think things like that can happen all the time. So I agree. I think sometimes we'll look for things, but who knows if that was actually what it was.
I
And we
don't
can
think it was at all.
misinterpret things all the time. I
Mhm.
think that's another piece too. Like if we look, sometimes you're looking for something because you have that pre-notion in your mind that this person is cheating and this person's doing something, but we really
Mhm.
don't know. But if you believe it, you will find
Mhm.
something
Yes.
that just confirms it.
It's
But
coming
maybe
from
he wasn't.
you, not
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking for something, that's how you find it, just like you said, Kim.
We all have like different ideas of if we get access to it or if we don't want access to it. Do you have another one?
I do.
Yes.
So I have another one, which I think is a big one, especially for this day and age too, because we're always rushing. I mean,
Ugh.
I want to speak for all of us, but this one is, how long are you willing to date before you become official? So let's say you're getting to know someone, like how long is the dating phase before he or she says, you know what, I want to be official with you? So how long are you willing to wait to make things official?
Let me say something. And I don't remember where this came from, but I remember someone told me, like, before you make it official, before you move to the next step, you have to be with someone through all seasons.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
For a year. So I'm dating you
For
for a
a
year and you're
whole
not my
year.
boyfriend. You're not my boyfriend and you're not my girlfriend. So we're just dating each other for a whole year.
But isn't dating already a boyfriend and girlfriend?
No, you're not official. No. Like you're not
I just
officially
feel like
dating
dating
that
almost.
person.
You're talking
This
to
is
Okay, go ahead.
right. This is like you're talking to somebody. Like, I guess, how long are you willing to talk to someone before you make it official?
Oh, okay. What were you gonna say then?
I think that all right, this might sound a bit quick, but I feel like after the first, second date, I feel like you just know. After
Mm.
your third time of hanging out with someone, you can kind of like, all right, do I want to officially date this person or do I want to just keep dating open to other people? So, in my opinion, I think within a few dates, you'll know, like, do I want to continue getting to know this person as an individual? Do I want to just grow with this one person? Or do I want to just keep, seeing what other options are there? 3 dates.
3 dates. Give it a number. 3 dates. Um, I think when you know, you know. I don't know if I will have. I think I will have to go with my guts to see how I feel on that one. But I do know if at the very 3 days I don't feel comfortable, I will definitely, I don't think I will wait for 3 days. I might think like 1 or 2 dates next. Um, but to make it official, I think I will I will follow my gut and see how many dates I need.
It's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I will put a date on it.
I think I would have to follow my gut too. I think early on in my life, I would just be like, a handful of dates and like, you're my boyfriend. And then 3 months down the line, I'm like, what is going on? So I think I may have jumped into things too hastily in the past. And now that I know myself better, actually, I think my knowing would be I'll make better decisions now. But I don't necessarily like to rush into things.
A good one, right? Just build that connection and chemistry first. All right, and I have one more just to keep the conversation going. And I think this is also a good one because we don't give credit to this. Like we don't give enough credits for this one.
Okay.
What's the most valuable lesson you've learned from a past relationship?
Ooh.
Right? Because we're always like, oh, that's my ex. Like we always kind of have that notion that we didn't learn anything, but I feel like there's always a takeaway that you learn from. It can be an ex, maybe an ex friendship, maybe an ex anything, or someone from the past.
I think that we all have said this in different episodes. Anything that happens, we have used it to make ourselves better, to learn something from the journey. It's never a waste of time. You always learn something from it, either about that person or about yourself. Hopefully, like we look back and say, well, why didn't that work? And what can I use now? Thinking that things are our fault, or I should have done better, or maybe I should have not done this. So the reality of it all, in that situation, you made the decision based on that situation, what was happening at that time, the tools that you had, the knowledge that you had, that's what you applied. And moving forward, now you know better. You will not do it that way, hopefully. But at that time, you did what you did. So if I had to look back in every relationship, I will see like the things that someone brought into the table, and things that like, oh, I could learn from that, and the things that possibly I don't want to continue having in my life. It's a huge red flag whoever comes in and say like, no, it was never my fault. It was the other person's fault. That other
Yeah, it
person
is.
is all they're doing. And they cannot stop talking about them every time. Like, oh, because so and so, this is what he or she did. I'm like, oh, that will not take me the 3 days, Kim. That will take me 1 day.
So I think for myself, I think about how there's love languages. So different people have different love languages, and through those love languages, you feel love, you're loved. And so I think that what I've learned from relationships is like my love languages, and I know like what fits me and what I'm looking for in a partner, like what feels like love to me. So I definitely think that's what I've learned. That's like the biggest lesson. Because it doesn't mean that people don't love you, but it's like how they do it.
Has this changed? That's like I like that because I was thinking about that recently. Has your love language has changed over time, or has it remained the same? Receiving it and giving it. Has there been any changes for you?
I would say definitely receiving it for sure, because I've refined my understanding of what I appreciate and what's meaningful to me. So receiving it for sure. And then I think when it comes to giving it, it's more about like what the person wants. And that we had talked a little bit about relationship skill building and what key things you want to bring in when it comes to communication. And I think one of them is understanding the other person and how they receive communication, and potentially like what their love languages are. Because a huge thing about communication is you can think that you communicated, you could say something to somebody, but if they don't take it in, you haven't communicated. Like, so you have to learn how to give it in a way that the person is going to receive it.
Absolutely. Thinking about the lesson that I've learned that's been the most valuable for my past relationship, it has to be that when people say what they want, or where they kind of just tell you, like, we have to believe them the first time around. I think sometimes we get caught in the notion of they'll change their mind, or, you know, I can change them, or they just think like this now. But one of my biggest takeaways, you know, just sticking to what it is that I want, and accepting that, you know, my partner or whoever I'm with just may not want those things, and it's not my job to convince them or change them. And I think that's something that I really learned the hard way, you know, by just, because sometimes we come in with our own agendas and people just don't want to do that. And that's okay. It's just, we all love differently and we all want different things, was my biggest takeaway.
And those were only 3 cards. So imagine what else will be.
No.
Look how many.
The possibilities are endless.
You will definitely get to know if you want to be in the long run with that person. That you will have your old seasons with these cards.
What? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, the cards can take you through seasons, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
A bonus card, just a random pick.
Oh, like a random pick. I'm scared.
I know, right?
But I love it so much. It's like a good scare. It's a good scare.
Okay. How do you feel about your partner maintaining close friendships with exes?
Oh, well, I could.
I think that ties together with a trust piece. I think that and trust goes together.
With an ex? I don't know.
How would you feel? You don't feel comfortable if they. I would like to say that
close friendship. How do you feel
No?
about your partner maintaining close friendships with exes? There's one thing if you're high and by with an ex. All right. But a close friendship, like, are you guys going out to brunch? Are you guys talking on the phone?
No,
Are
that's
you
not
guys
it.
going to each other's birthday parties? Like, when I think about close, I think about close. And I don't know how I'm like, so then just get back together with that person. If you guys are so close now, like, just
I don't
go.
see it that way at all. Oh no. I definitely see that. I think Mr. Harvey will say the same thing.
Yeah.
He will say the same thing. He will say, like, listen, an ex is an ex for a reason. Why are you still having them in your life?
Are you talking about Steve Harvey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Steve
Yeah.
Harvey. I was
Kevin
gonna
Harvey,
say,
Steve
yeah.
Harvey.
Steve Harvey. I don't know. I will think, like, if you have a maybe what's an ex that you no? Am I like so off on this one?
Felicity.
The thing is, right? So Steve Harvey. So I'm not in a relationship. Steve Harvey has had several marriages, and he believes that you should not have men, or have friends of the opposite sex. Period. Right? I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I have to also check, like, my own single way of thinking, because maybe I just don't know. But I think, especially if that person is a source of support for you, like if over brunch you're talking about the most important things in your heart and you're developing and growing, and they've known you for years, and it's a good thing for your soul, then I actually do think that it's good,
Me too. I think I might be
Absolutely
way
not.
I think I'm being
Absolutely
too
not.
naive in that because I think the same way.
Let's paint the scenario. Let's say you're dating someone, right?
Mhm,
And you're in a relationship, and you
mhm.
plan a surprise dinner to go out with your boyfriend, and he tells you, "Oh, I already have plans to go out with my ex."
Different
Because
cat.
because she's a close, again, we're talking about close friendships. And this close friend gets a one up on your relationship. No, I don't know how I feel about that.
That's a
That's
different. That's a
different.
totally
Yeah.
different level.
Yeah.
We're talking close.
Even with
We're
close
talking
relationships,
close.
you have your levels. You have your parents up here, then you have your if you have kids over here, and then you have your spouse over here, and your boyfriend and girlfriend will be here, and then close relationship friendships will be over here. So
You
it's
guys are
definitely
assuming that
different
everyone
levels.
has it in that same level.
Yeah.
It
And
should be.
that order is a little, so I wouldn't have it in that order. I wouldn't
What
have it in
order
that
would you
order.
have it?
So if I'm in like a very serious relationship, so first of all, God first, then
Okay.
me,
Oh.
then potentially my relationship. My mom is always
Oh.
going to be, listen, she's everywhere. She will insert herself in all those I don't even need to find a place for
Place
her.
for her.
Right?
Just sprinkled.
Yes. And then, and then kind of everyone else. But Yeah, but that
Mm.
person, especially your primary person, they have to be up there, I would say. Even beyond your parents. Like, my father, God bless him, he's not around here. So that's why I didn't mention him on the list, but still, I wouldn't that relationship is important, but once you grow up, you have to like that's how I feel. That's how I feel. You have to put other things in
Love it. I
there.
love that we all have different. I like that we have a different
Yeah.
perspective. I really think I always think that if you're in a relationship and this scenario that Kim is describing, this extraordinary scenario that she's describing, and my ex boyfriend or girlfriend calls me in and they're saying like, I want to have dinner together and it's nothing urgent. It's not an
Yeah.
emergency. And I said, listen, I have my actual boyfriend and girlfriend that I'm meeting with them today. I'm going to go there and then we
Yeah.
can meet another day.
It's a no-brainer.
Or, yeah, that's like, I wouldn't.
Or, all right, you know what? I'm going to do one more scenario. So let's
Okay,
say
let's
you
do
guys
another
are chilling
scenario.
in the house. You and your partner are chilling at home. You're watching TV, and this close ex calls your boyfriend, and she's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" And your boyfriend's like, "Oh, I'm not doing anything. I'm just chilling in the house." "Oh, you want to go out for drinks?" And then your boyfriend's like, "Yo, babe, I'm gonna go out and have drinks with my ex-girlfriend / bestie." You guys aren't putting this into content, and I'm getting really annoyed because we have to think about close.
Let's go
So,
together.
but you're not invited. She wants to go out with her
Of course
When
I'm
did that
invited.
happen?
Why wouldn't that happen?
In
That's where
Kim's scenario,
they have that friendship. They have this close friendship. You're not invited to go.
we're going together.
She wants to vibe, but she wants to, talk about whatever is bothering her. And because you guys are such close besties, she wants to go out and vent. And I'm absolutely no. Like I said, there's one thing by saying hi and bye to your ex-boyfriend. Hey, how's it going? Cool. Happy birthday. Cool. But now we're close. No.
If she wants to vent, she can come over here. I'll make her a drink.
Mm-hmm.
And you
She's
guys
not
can
your
sit.
friend. She's his
You
friend.
have to, now that's the thing. So if we're friends, I'm gonna insert myself. I learned from my mom. I learned from the best. We're friends. We're friends. So I will take that phone. I'll be like, let me talk to
Your
her.
friends are my friends.
Yes, you
Your
want to come
family
through?
is my family. We'll come.
Exactly.
Oh, it sounds like she's having such a hard time. Let's meet together. We're all gonna be
Yes.
so supportive.
Yes. Yeah.
We're all
Yeah.
here to love each other, and it's gonna feel so much better once we. I do not see any scenario where you are going to leave our house to meet with this best friend of yours for what?
Yeah, I don't either. That's his
We said
problem.
like, yeah,
If those are choices that he's making, there's something not right over there with him. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that goes into the trusting, that goes into the phone being unlocked, that I'm able to see all the conversations that all fall in the same category for me. But I think to what Felicity said, I do see like if there's someone that has been valuable to you, that has like maybe someone that you know for a very since you were kids, they have been almost like brothers and sisters for a very long time. They may have had a relationship. It didn't work out because not all relationships work out. But like both of you know your family, both of your family gets to know each other. You're like supportive in different ways. I don't see why they wouldn't have a close relationship. I wouldn't want to be the person to. You cannot break that apart. Like you'll think
Yeah.
that you're breaking it apart, but you're really not. Or you're
Exactly,
creating
because
friction. Yeah, it's gonna happen. That's when the texting happened that you don't know about, and now I have to log you because I'm still conversating with this person that you
Yeah.
told me you don't want me to conversate. But I cannot lose my friend that I know even before I know you. That's how I see it. That's the scenario that plays in my head.
No.
Okay.
Which goes, there's another question. What is one of your non-negotiables?
The views and opinions expressed on Unwind and Wonder are solely those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Zeal Decoded Productions.
While we strive for accuracy, we acknowledge that our expertise may vary across the topics discussed. Our goal is to provide diverse perspectives and foster engaging dialogue.
However, listeners are encouraged to use discretion and consult qualified professionals for specialized advice. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and understanding.